Hi friends, today I'll show you an AI model called Moonshot K2. It's getting popular among developers. We'll explore what is it, why it's better than many other models, and how to use it in just few minutes. K2 was trained on 1 trillion tokens. It uses 32 billion active tokens in its response, and it costs just 15 cents per million input tokens. That's a very affordable price compared to other top models. And you can see the benchmark. How does Kimi K2 performance stack up against GPT-4 and other industry leaders? So here we can see the performance based benchmark. So Kimi K2 are catching up with the top tier model. The Claude 4 Opus is only in the higher ranking, but the top Claude 4 has a very high pricing compared to Kimi K2. So this will totally change the game. Previously for coding, Claude was the only monolithic. So now Kimi is arrived as an open source model, and now the competition is more interesting than previous. In this graph, K2 beats many top open source models and competes with the Claude and GPT-4. That's really impressive for a free model. The graph also shows that K2 is strong in reasoning and coding. It uses a special method, mixture of experts, which makes it very efficient and fast. Now I will show you how to use K2 with Cline and GitHub Copilot in VS Code. So let's start the VS Code. So I have a project here opened, and this is a personal project what I'm working on, and this is the project. And so I will provide the same task to Claude and K2, and let's see how they perform. For that I will use a Cline and GitHub Copilot for comparison to see how these two types of way of using the LLM works. So first of all, I am going to install Cline on my system. So already I have installed Cline. So you can see that the Cline is installed. Now I need to set up the client. For that I'll create a API key. I already created a API key on OpenRouter. Now let's copy it. Okay, so here you can see the client interface. From here, the first option you can see to select the API provider. So for me it is OpenRouter, and here I need to provide the OpenRouter API key, and also I can select the sort underlying provider routing. So it is basically default is the default of OpenRouter's way, the provider and its logic, and the second option is price. So if I select it, it is going to use the least expensive provider for this model, and the throughput prioritizes the providers that can handle high volumes of data efficiently. So this is throughput, and if we select latency, it actually source the fastest response times and lowest delay. So I am going to select latency because we want fastest response time, and this is the client we set up. So this is the project. This is a Next.js project, and on this project I used server action for every mutation and data fetching logic. So I am thinking to convert all the server actions, both mutation and data fetching logic, to TRPC, and I changed some of the logic, converted some of the pages from server action to TRPC. I will use the LLM and already created this prompt for converting these invoices pages from server action to TRPC. So here is my prompt. So I wrote the prompt of here, and I will use the same prompt for both Claude and the Moonshot. So let's see how the two model performs. So I am just going to copy and paste on Cline. So here it is. So I'm going to paste here. So let's see how it performs. So let's do it. Also I'll see the cost. So you can see that I created a fresh API for this, and if I reload it, I just kept $2 on this API, and I can see that how the price is going here. So we're going to start here. So first of all, we'll test Moonshot, then after that I will test Claude. Okay, so the Kimi K2 finished its job, but I can see some TypeScript error here. So first of all, I can see that it's imported from the wrong place. So just clear it, and it's imported from the leave TRPC client. So it is from here. So this is TRPC, not API, but how it's importing API from here. Okay, so it will be TRPC, not API. So from the terminal on TypeScript, I have several issues there. So let's go to Cline and paste it so that we can see that if it can solve this problem or not. So I can see that it already spent 73 cents, which is already very expensive. So let's see how much it cost to finish the work. Okay, finally it completed the job. So if I can see that so on this page, the invoice list, it changed from the server action setup to the TRPC way, and here it creates a custom invoice table. I can see that it's completely rewritten the data table here. Actually, already I created a TRPC version of data table, but it completely ignores that. I have data tables, so this is the server action version of data tables, and this is the TRPC version of data table, but it ignores and try to recreate that. I think this is this can be issue with not handling or passing proper context of this project. It also can be problem with the client, I don't know, but it's somehow did it with different data table design of its own. So this is the results from the Kimi K2, and you can see that it already cost me almost $1. So it is not actually cheap. Now I will going to use Claude using GitHub Copilot, and let's see how Claude can complete this task. So I'm going to paste exact same prompt. By the way, I tried using Kimi K2 on the GitHub Copilot, but somehow it's providing errors. I don't know, it is the problem with the GitHub Copilot or the side of OpenRouter. So I failed to use GitHub Copilot to run Kimi K2 properly. Sometimes it works and sometimes it's providing error. So I am using Claude here. So let's see how it can handle that. Okay, Copilot using Claude 4 finishes the job, but I can see that it introduced and the maximum update depth exceeded error. So I'm going to provide it to okay. Now Claude is finished the job, and I can see that it changes on 8 files. Also, it removed the controller, invoice controller is previously used, which is good thing because it is the old code. And it on the invoice list, I can see that it okay, it correctly used the TRPC data table what we created. You can see that it's correctly used that, and for the data fetching, you can see that it uses okay, so it uses the hook use invoice query. If we go to the website, so yes, it works. So Claude did the job perfectly, and it is working. So even though the Kimi is a very new model, has to evolve more to compete with Claude. And also you can see that even though it is a very cheap model, when using Cline, the cost goes up to $1 and more. So for the case of Claude, if you use GitHub Copilot, so it is 300 requests for a pro model, and this costs $10 per month, so which is much more cheaper option than using Kimi K2 via the API, because if you're doing vibe coding, then it goes very costly. So if you know some kind of coding, and if the model does some wrong thing, then you can correct it, and you can optimize the cost. So this is the comparison. You can see that although Kimi is a very new model and open source, it has to go a long run. It is not as much as equivalent to Claude, and at this time, if you're really serious about coding, the Claude is the best thing you can currently go with. So thank you everyone for watching my video. So you notice that I have to spend bunch of credits for this task. So if you like my video, you can support my channel. And if you like my video and if you want to support my channel, you can hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. And thank you everyone. So bye bye.